Hey everyone, welcome back to Reading with Tatiana. Today I'm reviewing Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian Mcallister, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5. This is now 2 for 2 because for my book club this month, we read The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer and then Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian Mcallister, and both these books we really felt like they were interesting premise and ideas, but as we read them, we felt the execution was done very poorly. So that's 2 for 2, which is really unfortunate. My Booktuber shout today goes out to a newish Booktuber. They only posted a video 2 weeks ago, Joe Spivey. However, they have actually posted a lot of content since and have a bit of a following already. So I'll link his channel down below if you want to show them some support. And it seems like that right now they're focusing a lot on like classic literature, which is like kind of cool because I definitely do not enjoy classic literature that much, and I wish I did, but I just find it hard to read like the older English style writing. And as always, if you're watching this video, I'll always appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below if you've read this book and if you enjoyed it or if you hated it. I'd love to hear what you thought down below. This book was published in 2022, so pretty recently, and the genre it falls under is thriller, but I would say it even goes under like the crime mystery genre. A bit about the author, Gillian Mcallister. She is a very prolific thriller writer. She was born in Sutton Coldfield and raised in Tamworth. I don't know where these places are, but she is British of the United Kingdom. She wrote fiction in her spare time throughout her adulthood, and as I said, she's a prolific writer. So she is top 10 best-selling of 7 novels that have been translated in over 40 languages. I think people who really like this type of thriller, mystery, crime are really into this genre, kind of like John Grisham readers or John Grisham. But for me, I don't know, it's personally my cup of tea, but it seems like she's very good at what she does. Let's get into the premise of the book. As I mentioned, I thought the premise was super interesting. That's why I recommended it to my book club to read, even though it kind of fell flat amongst all of us readers. So as this is a thriller, I'm not going to give you too many details as I don't want to do any spoilers. But this book is basically we meet Jen. She is a mother of a teenage boy called Todd, and her husband is Kelly, and they just kind of have a nice life. And it's nighttime. I think it's like the eve of Halloween, and it's like that time of year when the clock goes back an hour at like 1 a.m. or whatever, which doesn't really make sense to me because I really have this like fake memory that this always happened the first Sunday of October, and now the day of filming is October 20th. And it didn't happen. When I Google it, it says the time falls back on the first Sunday of November, which this is really confusing for me because I feel I have this really strong false memory that used to happen in October. How about you? Like, has it always been November for you? I just have this crazy false memory. I don't know. Anyways, so basically this is the time when this book is set. And one night Jen looks out the window. She's waiting for Todd, her teenage son, to come home. And she sees that he's walking. And then there's like a stranger figure, man nearby. And then her son Todd basically walks up to a stranger and like stabs him. And then Jen and Kelly run out to see what Todd did. And the stranger is like bleeding and is dying. Basically, Todd gets arrested, and Jen and her husband Kelly are super distraught. They have a good son who's smart, who's into STEM, and they really have no idea why he would stab the stranger. Like, what's the connection? So Jen's super distraught, and she goes to bed that night. And she wakes up, and it's one day before, like a day yesterday in the morning. And she realized that she went back in time. And she's like, that's strange. So she kind of relives the whole day. And then she goes to bed. And then she wakes up, and she goes back 2 days. And basically this book becomes this kind of like time loop where every day she wakes up, she goes farther and farther back in time. And Jen kind of pieces together like, oh, is it on her to help save her son to not stab this man? Is it a matter of changing decisions that he made, changing the ways she raised him, and all that kind of stuff? And it's kind of like you work backwards kind of book, and that's kind of the premise of the book. Common themes I found throughout this book is obviously the idea of family and what that means, and how to be loyal to your family, how to stand up for your family, how to kind of like always believe in your family even if they freaking stab someone. In this book, not that Jen's an unreliable narrator, but because we have no idea what's happening to her in this time loop, we don't know what the truth is, right? Because she does things in the past that could have a different impact in the future. So what's the real truth? So, Jen obviously only knows what she can see, and she's trying to make the best guess of what's happening. So just being loyal to your family and trying trusting your family, and really believing they are who they say they are. Foreshadowing there. Um, Also the idea of if you're married to someone, the idea of how much do you need to reveal of your past. Without spoiling it, Kelly and Jen met as adults, and Kelly has always been a very private person, very surface level. And as the book develops, Jen kind of suspects Kelly's past, what he's told her isn't what's actually true. So that kind of made me think about how when I'm with someone, you know, I want to know as much as I can about their past because I think it really builds who they are when I meet them and also their future. But if someone has a past, they're really trying to make a new leaf, make a new life. Do they have to tell us, or can it be a mystery? I don't know. That's super interesting to think about. What do you think? And also the power of a mother's love and urgency to protect their child. I gave this book a 3 out of 5, so there were two things I didn't like that kind of fell flat for me. Number one was no character to really root for. I felt everyone was kind of like meh, and like I just didn't wish the best for them. I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it. It felt very like normal people Sally Rooney vibes. And also, I think time travel, time loop can be done really well. And when it's done really well, it's really fun. But in this book, it was super frustrating because it never really explains the reason why it happens. Or it kind of does at the end, but I just wasn't satisfied with that explanation. Things I did like about this book is once the twist or the reveal happens, I kind of enjoyed it. Only because I didn't expect it. However, saying that, I'm not someone that reads thriller mysteries very often, so maybe if you're someone that's a very regular reader of this genre, it was very obvious, but for me, I had no idea, so I really enjoyed it. On Goodreads, this book got an average of 4.03 out of 5, which I think is pretty high. Bad reviews where people felt the development of the storyline was underwhelming and sometimes confusing. I can agree to that. Time loops, you have to be very strategic when you introduce it in the story, I think. People also struggle with the writing style, which I also agree with. I slogged through this book. Like, there's those situations where I literally read a few chapters a night. Whereas when I really enjoy a book, I can read like sections of it in a night. So it was really hard for me to read. Not a fan of the writing style. Good reviews. People thought it was a great book, especially if you're a mother, because you can really relate to Jen's struggles and empathy for her situation. People like me also enjoyed the premise of the book, and some people who really liked the book felt it was executed really well and extended use of liberty device and point of view of what it means to be married and also to be a mother. Why I think you should read this book? I think you should read it if you're a fan of crime, thrillers, time loops, and the mother's love. Now I'll share how this book made me feel, because if you ask me a week, a year, 5 years from now, I probably won't remember exactly what the book was about, but I'll always remember how it made me feel. So this book, Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian Mcallister, it made me feel that I probably definitely do not enjoy crime thrillers. It's just not a genre that speaks to me. I think I still enjoy thrillers to an extent. Like, I really enjoyed like domestic thrillers or like mind-boggling thrillers. But when it's like crime related or like organized crime, not really my cup of tea. Thanks for watching until the end of my book review for Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian Mcallister. If you read it down below, I'd love to hear what you thought. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.